violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Sources say the Atlanta police car shortage has gotten worse, not better. More than 100. Sources say the Atlanta police car shortage has gotten worse, not better. More than 100 City of Atlanta police vehicles are now in the shop for repairs. And on some days, supervisors do not have enough cruisers to set up patrols for the city's communities. Fox 5's Morris Diggs explains how the current equipment situation can add critical minutes to a 911 call.
So remember how late 2020 where they were trying so hard to convince us that no, Atlanta didn't defund their police. We did no such thing. Okay, so what is the explanation for having a vehicle shortage for Atlanta police officers? And it may not be necessarily that they defunded, but they're definitely not giving them the support that they need. I remember I broke down a report where they were saying they actually increased the budget of the police department, but that increase was very reflective of the inflation rate. So it wasn't necessarily an increase. It was a maintaining based off of the inflation rate, which is between what the people say it's 8%, but I think it's more like 14% realistically.
Yes, I've told you about this problem before. And when we did so, there was a promise of a turnaround, a speed up to get these cars back out to patrol. I'm going to tell you how the setback now is affecting folks in neighborhoods. Should you have an emergency at your home, the beat car and the officer who's normally in it may be in the next geographic beat over, adding several minutes at a minimum to the trip to get to your family. The reason.
And y'all know how this Atlanta traffic is. It ain't just gonna be several minutes. You can be sitting in traffic for 30, 40, 50 minutes.
Police commanders are trying to make do without the cruisers that have been shopped. So the officers sometimes double up in one car to try to cover an expanded beat.
We're back up to 89, and most recently what I've heard, it's over 100 now. It's up to 110 plus. So what is the status of getting that shop where it needs to be?
You heard that correctly from the Council of Public Safety Chairman. 110 police vehicles out of service.
We've also looked at extending the hours beyond our evening hours or beefing up our crews. But again,
to me, it sounds like they just need mechanics. Okay? They just need more mechanics. And that shouldn't be a situation that people are against. But when it comes to the police, these people in the community essentially do not want to lend a helping hand to improve the performance and the efficiency of the police department. Okay? Because most people in the community are defendants of these super gremlins on demon time.
Training and recruiting technicians still becomes is a challenge at this point.
Where are all the cars? Well, in addition to the city shop, Atlanta uses a couple of dealers for repairs.
Took my vehicle out for service, and I saw all kinds of police vehicles, Sheriff Labatt's vehicles, watershed management vehicles just sitting around in this dealership. I'm like, something is wrong here.
I performed an impromptu on-site visit and did an inventory of the vehicles that we have and asked them to provide a status update.
Of course, dealerships also have their regular customers to attend to. Meanwhile, the problems mount for the head public official trying to staff the city garage.
We have lost the director's position. We're looking to fill that position. We're also down the deputy director's positions.
So you may be thinking, well, one answer is to go ahead and order more cars. Well, that's been done. According to Sergeant John Chafee, the city put in an order, but with a nationwide backlog for new vehicles, Atlanta is not expecting any new vehicles until early next year.
On New at 5, it's a problem a lot of parents reach out to us about: how to keep your child from being bullied. One mother tells us she has tried to get her son's school to stop the constant bullying, but they didn't, and he ended up getting into a fight with the other boy. Now they are both being punished, and she doesn't think it's fair. Latasha Givens has a story you'll only see on 11 Alive.
The school behind me has wrapped up for the day, but there was one student who was absent, and that was on purpose. His mother kept him home because she says that's been the only way she has found to protect him from a bully.
And that's the crazy thing, man. These kids can't even go to school without being bullied. So much so that you got to keep your own kids home. You know, that's why I'm an advocate of homeschooling. And homeschooling, you have to have a network of other parents who homeschool in order for it to work, because let's keep it a buck. Parents are busy, okay? They don't have time. They got to go to work. So I definitely get that angle of it. But these public schools, man, these public schools are on demon time.
On a normal Friday afternoon, Caden would be in PE class at school. Instead, he's taking recess in his backyard after his mother pulled him out of school because of bullying.
I'm constantly worried about whether or not my son's going to be safe at school.
The piercings are crazy.
His mother, Deborah Tanner, says her son has had multiple incidents with bullies, from being hit in gym class and even being punched in the face on the school bus.
When you see another person's fist flying into your child's face, I started shaking. Like, I started shaking.
They slammed my head full face into the window, and then I pulled his arm down and then hit him in the face.
Tanner says the final straw was this past Monday when he was attacked on a school field.
At least he's fighting back against these super gremlins on demon time. And you ask me, well, how do you know it's the super gremlins? The demographics of Factory Shoals Middle School, located in Douglasville, Georgia, which is about 25-30 minutes from Atlanta. 74% African American, 5.9% glider, and 15% burrito. All right, so just from the data, you can kind of surmise that he's probably being bullied by a little son middle schooler, okay? They on his ass, as they would say.
He took these photos of his injuries.
I sent him to school on Monday in perfect condition, and he came home with marks on his face and a bloody nose. And they punished my son for disrupting class.
We went to the Douglas County School District with the mother's concerns that her son was being disciplined for reacting to a situation she says the school has failed to stop. The district didn't directly answer most of our questions, but sent us a statement indicating it concluded the alleged incident was a mutual dispute and did not fall under the district's definition of bullying, and that
So you see what I'm saying? They blaming the little glider kid. They saying it's a mutual dispute because he got his lick back, or tried to get his lick back, or tried to defend himself. So there's really no solutions to this stuff. The school is going to basically deny until something real really happens.
Both students have been disciplined according to the Douglas County School System Code of Conduct. We looked at that school policy ourselves. While it outlines what it considers bullying, it does not indicate how it protects students deemed victims. And that's left the Tanner family unsure of their final steps.
I will not send him back to that school because he is not safe.
And we will add a link to this story on our website that outlines the school district's full bullying policy. In Douglas County, I'm Latasha Givens, 11 Alive News.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo!
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Admitted to choking Alexis, Miss Crawford. And while he was choking Miss Crawford, Jordan Jones put a plastic bag over her head.
Disturbing new details exposing the brutality last week and the awful story of Alexis Crawford's final moments.
And guys, I did want to do a follow-up story on the story of Alexis Crawford. I actually did a live stream on Alexis Crawford. I actually knew her personally. She actually went to school in my area when I was in high school. So my family knows her family. She was actually a friend to my sisters, and she's actually one of my best friends' first cousin. And she was killed by these 2 super gremlins. I did a live stream on it. It was a boyfriend and a girlfriend. I did a live stream on it. It's called BGZ Remembers All of the People Who He Knew Personally Who Were Killed by Super Gremlins on Demon Time. So I am giving you guys an update. They have been proceeding with the court hearings, and a lot of details of her murder are being brought to light. And it's a very sad situation.
This week, both of the Clark Atlanta seniors' alleged killers, her roommate and her roommate's boyfriend, were in court. From what we have seen so far, Jordan Jones and Barron Brantley each trying to shift the blame to the other for what happened to Alexis.
So they're rolling on each other, okay? And allegedly the story is Brandon Jones took advantage of Alexis. She was going to tell. The girlfriend got jealous. She was like, oh, you're lying, da-da-da-da. And they killed her together. But obviously they are rolling on each other. They're trying to deflect, which is... if they would have stood together, it would have worked better in their defense. But since they're going at each other, they're both gonna get violated, in my opinion. But like I said, Alexis Crawford, she was actually going to Clark Atlanta when my sister was going to Clark Atlanta. So very close to this family. So I definitely send my condolences. I actually went to her funeral, and it was super sad. There were a lot of people, and she was really loved. So, you know, I just hate that it happened, and now, you know, I'm following up because I want you guys to know that I do actually care about these stories, and I care about how justice is served.
Elwin Lopez takes us through the timeline.
Yeah, Jeff, Alexis
Crawford
had accused Barron Brantley of sexually assaulting her just 4 days before she was killed. His DNA was found in the rape kit, even though Jordan Jones, his girlfriend and Crawford's roommate.
Yeah, I think I mixed up the names. This is Barron, this is Jordan. So I thought this was Jordan, this is Barron. But actually, this is Barron, okay? And the girl is Jordan, so my mistake.
Told Crawford's parents that it wasn't. That's just some of the shocking details we're learning today. October 26, it was homecoming weekend when detectives say Alexis Crawford, her roommate Jordan Jones, and Jones' boyfriend Baron Brantley went out drinking. Lead detective Michael Young testified that Jones said she went to lie down after they got home, and when she woke up, she told investigators she went looking for her boyfriend. She said the bathroom door was locked, and when she knocked on the door, Brantley then came out immediately saying he had not raped Crawford. The roommate told police Crawford was unconscious on the floor.
What? So you get confronted and the first thing that you say is, hey, I didn't take advantage of her while she's unconscious on the floor. And ladies, y'all have to, and I'm not victim blaming at all, but what I am saying is, you got to be careful who you get intoxicated around. I think that a lot of women in general, not just sisters, y'all, you go out and you have fun and all this stuff, and you really don't know the type of people that you are around. And it makes it even more difficult when your roommate has a boyfriend who's basically living with you, which I don't. If you're a woman and you're rooming with a girl and then her boyfriend is living with you, I advise you to find another way to house yourself because it's just not a safe situation.
And Brantley took off in her car. Police say Jones called 911 to report that her boyfriend had stolen her car and also told them Crawford had told her that Brantley had sexually assaulted her. According to Atlanta police, Crawford at first refused to talk to the officer. But 15 minutes later, police were called back to the apartment and Crawford filed a sexual assault report. The next day, October 27th, Crawford went to the hospital to get a rape kit. That same day, Brantley told police Jones snuck him back into the apartment she shared with Crawford. He hid in Jones' room until October 30th. Crawford never knew her alleged attacker was just feet away for 4 days. On October 30th, we previously reported Jones took Crawford to the liquor store. Later, she stated that when she woke up, Crawford was gone.
Wow. I mean, you get drunk, you get taken advantage of, and then you're back at the liquor store. That, to me, that's just like a bad judgment call, a discernment issue. And this is why you need some guys, some men around who actually love and care for you, so that they can help order your steps, because this is just not a good decision, especially when the main reason why you were taken advantage of is because you were inebriated and partially unconscious.
But now detectives say Jones eventually admitted that she and Crawford got into a physical fight. And that's when Brantley, still hiding in the apartment, allegedly popped out of the bedroom and choked Crawford. That's when Brantley told detectives his girlfriend took things to a different level.
Jordan Jones put a plastic bag over her head.
According to what he told police, Brantley then cleaned up the blood, which police didn't discover during their initial check of the apartment. It was only after they returned and examined the living room with luminol that the crime scene was revealed. Jones allegedly told police after realizing Crawford was dead, they put her in a bin and dumped it in a park. A detective testified that after that, Brantley and Jones returned home, slept, and then went to a Halloween party that same day.
No remorse. They continued to party. These super gremlins are on demon time.
And it was after detectives saw surveillance video from their apartment showing Brantley and Jones getting into the car around 3 a.m. that Jones, along with her dad, led police to Crawford's body at Exchange Park in Decatur, going to a few other parks before the one where Crawford's body was located. Jeff?
You will find more on Alexis Crawford's life, the suspect's background, and the investigation right now on the 11 Alive app.
Really hard. All right, Karis, thank you. Atlanta rapper Keed has died. That's according to social media posts by his brother. Keed, whose real name is Rakeed Render, was a member of the YSL record label founded by Young Thug.
Okay, so we have Lil Keed, the rapper, who was a part of the YSL record label and gang, passes away at 24. Definitely too soon. What I will say about this situation is obviously he was a habitual drug user. Allegedly he passed away from kidney failure and whatnot. So these drugs are serious, and these dudes are taking a lot of them. Okay, they're taking a lot of them. And Lil Keed, he's been in a little trouble, but he hasn't gotten into the type of trouble that Young Thug has gotten into. But if you don't know who he is, he sings that song. It goes, hey, 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 girl, can you take it? Like, take it. More than a mystery. She just wanna lick it. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely a decent song. I know people might disagree with me, but in the club, it slaps. So it's very unfortunate that he passed away. But guys, you cannot just go hard and take these drugs. And maybe he OD'd because he felt the pressure and the weight of the Fulton County District Attorney, Fonnie Willis, coming down on their gang. And maybe he got wind that he may have been implicated. And I'm just saying that's still not a reason to drown yourself in these substances, man. And we have a lot of young brothers who are straight junkie drug addicts, okay? Especially in the music industry. And this is the reality. And even though we like to paint the picture of, oh, well, brothers don't do this drug and brothers don't do that drug, I'm here to tell you that they doing all the drugs, okay? So it's very unfortunate that he passed away, but it just goes to show that, guys, you have to take your health a lot seriously. In this picture, he was a lot thinner than he is now, or was now, I guess. I don't know, since he passed, but he gained a lot of weight, and you could tell that he gained, like, it's not a beer belly, it's a lean belly. Drank a lot of lean, took a lot of drugs, and he spoke about it in his music. So that's how I know. I'm not just making these things up. I actually listened to his music, and he spoke a lot about taking drugs. And this is what happens, unfortunately, when you take this amount of drugs on a daily basis continually. So RIP to Lil Keed. Hopefully he didn't self-delete and this was just an accident. But I can only imagine what type of pressure and stress that he was under, knowing that everyone around him was getting indicted.
Keed has died. That's according to social media posts by his brother. Lil Keed, whose real name is Rakid Render, was a member of the YSL record label founded by Young Thug. It was not immediately clear how the rapper might have died.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.